This is the Nikon D600, one of the most hotly anticipated cameras of 2012. Following on from the release of D800 and the D800E at the beginning of the year, the D600 joins Nikon's full-frame camera lineup as the entry-level full-frame body, and it's aimed directly at enthusiast photographers. It's considerably smaller and lighter than Nikon's other FX bodies, and it's closer in size to the DX format D7000. The D600 feels solid enough and has a decent textured grip that is just deep enough to give good purchase. For the most part, the flaps that cover the ports seem pretty tough. However, the rubber seal covering the base connector seems a little loose and a prime candidate for being lost. The controls follow the familiar Nikon layout, with both the mode and drive dial featuring locking buttons to avoid accidental movement. On the back of the camera is a small control pad and a switch to swap between stills or video live view mode, while on the top is the video activation button. Inside the camera is a new 24.3mm pixel FX format CMOS sensor and the same XP3 processing engine as that found in both the D800 and the D4. This combination allows a continuous shooting rate of up to 5.5 frames per second, 1.5 frames more than the D800, but not quite up to the 11 frames per second achieved by the D4. Sensitivity follows that of the D800, with a native range that spans from ISO 100 to 6400. With the expansion settings enabled, this increases to ISO 50 to 25600. Our lab tests reveal that the D600 can stand its ground against the D800 when it comes to both noise and dynamic range, especially at the higher sensitivity levels. This improved low light performance should appeal to travel photographers who can find themselves shooting in all manner of conditions. Backing up its appeal to photographers on the move is the weight, coming in at 850 grams with the battery and an SD card. Couple the D600 with a 24 to 85mm lens and you have a good versatile lightweight kit that can be easily transported. Of course, if you're out and about, your kit will inevitably get a few knocks, as well as being exposed to a variety of weather conditions. So to that end, to help protect the inner workings, the D600 has a magnesium alloy top and back and a selection of weatherproofing seals to keep dust and water at bay. The autofocus system is always a big consideration, and in total the D600 has 39 f points, with 9 cross-type at the centre of the frame. In a move to attract keen wildlife photographers who may need to use a teleconverter to extend the range of their lenses, the D600's AF system is capable of functioning at f8, with the central 7 AF points remaining operational at this aperture. This compares with a more standard operational aperture of f5.6 on most cameras. In normal use this is fine, but when a teleconverter is attached, the maximum aperture of the lens is reduced outside of the AF operational limits, rendering the AF useless. So the D600 has a big plus point for both wildlife and sport photographers. And of course it's possible to record 1080p full HD movies at 24, 25 or 30 frames per second. And like the D800, the D600 features audio in and audio out ports, so you can monitor sound and adjust the levels manually. For many videographers, the D600's headphone port could be the deciding factor between it and the Canon EOS 6D. The 3.2-inch 920,000 dot LCD screen is bright and clear and can be easily viewed from most angles. However, it suffers from the usual reflection issues in bright conditions. Image storage is in the form of 2 SD card slots on the side here. As with other Nikon dual-slot SLRs, these can be configured to act as overflow, backup, or to split the images so that the JPEGs go on one card and RAW files on the other. Due to the size requirements of the camera, the SD card format has been selected over CF or XQD. So it'll be interesting to see how hot the camera gets when shooting video. We'll update you if we find any issues. One of the big features of the Canon 6D is the inclusion of Wi-Fi and GPS technology. Unfortunately, as with other Nikon bodies, an adapter, the WU1B, has to be used to enable a wireless connection, and a further accessory, the GP1, is required for GPS. It might be a feature that some full-frame aficionados would sniff at, but the D600 features a pop-up flash. This is a decent reach above the camera and is rated at 12 meters at ISO 100, the same as the one on the D800. This is enough to create a bit of fill-in lighting when needed and is of course compatible with Nikon's creative lighting system. The D600 is available now and has a suggested retail price of £1,955.99 in the UK and $2,099 in the US. For more information about the D600, take a look at our review on techradar.com.